Hey guys, it's Rachel with Hobby Farms Magazine, and today we're out at Red Dirt Plants in Guthrie, Oklahoma to talk to Jesse Tischhauser, the owner, about mums. One of the things that we're seeing in stores everywhere that we're going right now, what we're looking for when we buy them, what we're gonna do when we get home, and how we can keep them all year round.
Hi, this is Jesse Tischhauser from Red Dirt Plants here in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Let me tell you a little bit about our place. We've been here since 1892. We're the third family to own the business. We've had the business since about 1995. Here in Guthrie, Oklahoma, we produce vegetables, perennials, and annuals, and we ship to about a 500-mile radius of Guthrie. So if you're in an independent garden center in Oklahoma or the surrounding areas, you should see some of our Red Dirt plants.
And here at Red Dirt Plants, they grow over 60,000 mums each fall to sell to independent garden centers and some chains that are in regional area of Oklahoma. So we're gonna ask today what some of the things you wanna look for as a buyer when it's time to go find your fall mums, what stage you wanna buy them at, where you're gonna put them, and how long you can keep them. So Jesse's gonna explain those things for us, beginning with what they should look like when you take them home.
Most people will go into a garden center and see something that's full of color, and that's what they want. But really with mums, there's only so much time it's going to be in bloom because they don't rebloom. So what you really want to do, unless you of course have a party next weekend, you want something with color, you want to get something that's just cracking color, and that's how we try to ship all of our mums. And that way they'll last until the first freeze of the fall, rather than if you get something that's wide open on Labor Day, by the time the end of fall comes, it's going to be over with and it's going to be basically a dead plant. You just have to plant it and use it for next season.
Right. Okay, so now is mid-September. If you're going to buy something at this budded stage, or what they're calling the cracking stage, where you're starting to see what color it could be, it's going to be a safe bet. It'll last you all the way through fall.
Every plant we ship will have a color tag on it because we'd like to ship them at this stage compared to this stage. It doesn't take long to get between the two, so in the early part of fall, everything will be tight, and you'll have to look at the color tag to know exactly what color you're going to get.
So if you're shopping and you can't tell by looking, you should dig, find the tag, and then you'll be sure of what color it's going to crack and become. And then once that stage happens, you have a good, probably month of color?
At least, yes.
Okay, after you've selected your mum and you're ready to bring it home, what kind of spot in my yard am I looking for? Is this better in a container? Is it better in the landscape? Do I need a lot of light? Not a lot of light?
The mums will take full sun, but obviously this summer especially, 105 degrees, or it's going to be 100 degrees, and it's almost the end of September. Plants will always take shade in Oklahoma. Just about every plant will take some of this shade to get out of the sun. The container, these are made to be kept in containers, that's why they're in such large containers, but a lot of people will transplant them into something a little more decorative, or once they start losing their color towards the end of fall, you can put them in the ground and they're a perennial, and they'll come back next spring, and then in the fall they'll flower.
Okay, so if I want to transition from my container to become a perennial and have it throughout the year, what do I expect it to look like until it starts to do this again?
So these are perennial plants. What you're going to want to do is, after your color is lost, you can deadhead the plant a little bit to make it look prettier, showier. You want to mulch around it in the winter, water the soil and not the plant. You don't want to kill the thing over the winter with too much water. And then in spring, you can not deadhead it, but pinch it, and that'll get it to fill out. I mean, you're literally just pinching off all the buds, and every time you pinch it off, it'll sprout more around it. You can get these things pretty bushy by next fall. The biggest mistake you can make when buying a mum is to buy one that's fully bloomed out, unless of course you have a party this weekend or some wedding or something like that where you want immediate color. This plant here is probably 20 to 30% in bloom. You can see all the small buds that haven't even cracked color. If the plant you're looking at has none of those left, it's almost past its life cycle of being colorful. That's what you want to avoid.
In addition to these tips, we have learned that it's best to shop somewhere within your region. You want to find a plant that has already acclimated to your climate, to your environment, so it's safe whenever you plant it to your yard. So when looking for those mums, check out the greenhouse tag and make sure it's somewhere that is close to you, and you'll have the most success getting that into your yard.